still in Tennessee, and I wanted to share with you just a glimpse here of the Natchez Trace Parkway. You can see that the colors are starting to change, and I'm anticipating the next week or so as I go through the Shenandoah Valley to be really quite spectacular. I had the chance to visit two very sacred places. The first was the Little Rock Central High School, the site in 1957 of the first desegregation that occurred on the very steps of this incredibly beautiful high school. Across the street is a visitor center, and there I had a chance to meet Michael Douglas, a maintenance man and a vet. He was generous with both his time and wonderful stories. In particular, he explained something I probably wouldn't have learned about otherwise. There is across the street a gas station, which it is from there that reporters from Look and Time and Life magazine would line up to call in their stories as history was unfolding across the street. My next stop was the Lorraine Hotel, site of Martin Luther King's assassination. And though I've been here before, something unique struck me. I'd like to play for you a video that is on the kiosk right in front of the very sacred spot.
Well, hats off to all of us.
Right?
When Dr. King arrived in Memphis to bolster the striking sanitation workers, he was undergoing personal attacks for his protests against the Vietnam War. King insisted that the cost of the war was drawing attention and resources away from the issues of poverty in America.
It is a crime for people to live in this rich nation and receive starvation wages.
He knew economics was the next level, and that got him killed more than anything else. You're talking about redistribution of the wealth of this country. You're talking about closing tax loopholes.
That night at Mason Temple, where he delivered his famous mountaintop speech, few knew how prophetic his words would be.
I may not get there with you.
He knew that his time wasn't long. He talked about death more that night than I heard him talk about it in a long time.
I will admit that I bristled at the idea that this incredibly sacred spot needed to be sponsored by an auto parts store. That brought me back to Jacqueline Smith. Jacqueline was the last resident at the Lorraine Hotel and was evicted almost 33 years ago. And since that time, she has set up a protest that exists across the street with the singular focus to maintain this site as a tribute to the activism of Martin Luther King and not simply his assassination. I am in awe of the dedication and the determination of both Jacqueline Smith and Michael Douglas.